Purpose can look like a big thing that we need to find. And if you're feeling stuck around that right now, you're in the right place. That's all I can say. For now, you're in the right place. It can feel really like a lot of hard work to find this thing called purpose. But in this session, I'm looking to bring a different light to that, I suppose, and to look at what it's like to live our purpose moment by moment. And that we don't need to know exactly where we're going or what we're doing to do that. And it's okay even if you feel a little bit lost. Every moment of life can offer a sense of purpose. Like, what if everything you did, no matter how mundane, no matter how boring, no matter how normal and everyday, felt purposeful? This morning, my daughter's just come home from university. And this morning, I did the first batch of her washing. To be fair to her, she's not a big washing, bring home kind of a gal. But she's just come home for the last time, actually, from university. So this morning, I hung out the first load of washing. And it's come to mind because when I'm sat in my office, that's exactly what I can see outside the window. I can see the washing on the line. And I can feel a little bit of emotion coming up because there was no sense of that not being my purpose. That for that period of time, maybe it took me 5 to 10 minutes ish to hang out the washing, maybe not even that long, was my purpose, to hang out. I mean, I can see there is some of my washing on there, but mostly it's my daughter's. To hang out the washing and to be in the moment with that. To be in the sunshine. There was a little bit then. There's a little bit now. And just be out there hanging out the washing. Present with the hanging out of the washing. I have this cute little thing I do. Well, I think it's cute. Maybe you think I'm bonkers, but I like to match up the pegs. So each item of clothing that's on the line has matching pegs. I don't like to have different pegs on the items. Yes, I know. And they've all got little matching pegs. And so there's just the fun of it. Like, I'm finding the matching pegs. And sometimes I try and match the actual peg to the colour of the item of clothing. But that's not always successful because I don't have enough of the right coloured pegs. For, like, I can see there's quite a lot of grey things on the line and I don't have a lot of grey pegs. So they haven't got grey pegs. But anyway, so like, I know this is funny and silly, but what I'm pointing to here is that when you're connected to presence, every moment can be purposeful. Every moment can have that sense of purpose, can have that, that light-heartedness of just, in this moment, this is what I'm doing. And I guess often when we're talking about things in our work, probably, or creative projects, we might call that flow. But maybe that's available all the time. What I'm encouraging here is the putting down of this purpose thing being this big, heavy thing that you've got to find and pin down through some kind of tools and techniques. I've talked about that quite a lot in the last video that I did. But that more it's gentler. It feels gentler, what I'm talking about here. That this purpose is available all the time, if we are connected to the present moment. Because when we're really in the present moment, there isn't really anything else, is there? There's no sense of my purpose off in the future. When I eventually find it, then I'll know what I'm doing. There's just now. I remember years ago doing an activity. Michael Neal said, your activity between the 2 calls. I was on a little program with him. The activity between the 2 calls is to do an activity that normally you find a bit mundane and a bit like, oh, you really don't like doing it. But you're going to go do it with joy. And so it was grating cheese. I don't know why, particularly like grating cheese. And I remember like grating the cheese and playing "Wake Me Up Before You Go Go" by Wham, and just bringing, you know, the fun and the joyfulness to grating cheese, and maybe everything that we're doing when we connect to this idea of everything is universal intelligent, every in universal intelligence and universally intelligent. Everything we're doing, everything we're showing up for, everything that's coming through us is God. That's it. Everything is. Everything. Me sitting here doing this right now is the energy of life coming through me. And there's a feeling to that. There's a feeling to this purposefulness that is available all the time. And I think when we're caught up in trying to figure out our purpose, we're going to lose that, because we're going to be up in our heads trying to get to the thing, trying to find the purpose. But what if we could just show up in the present moment with this, with just being okay with now? I'm not okay because I haven't found my purpose, and this thing I'm doing right now isn't part of my purpose. And even if you think you've found your purpose, perhaps hanging out the washing doesn't feel like it's part of that. But what if everything you do is your purpose now? Whatever you're doing now is your purpose. And here it's in the feeling, isn't it? Like, it's in the feeling that when you're in the present moment, just being with what is, being with you as you are, without needing this correctly labeled and organized purpose, not with this sense that you've got to be somewhere else before you can feel okay. If you tune into that feeling of okayness just now, like, can you do that right now? Breathing deeply, feeling your feet on the floor, settling into that. How connected can we be to this present moment? Now, sometimes it's really difficult to do that, because we are still thinking about the future, and when I've got my purpose, it'll all be better. But just look back at your life and see how your purpose has unfolded so far in life without needing to have it all pinned down first. Like, I burnt out 10 years ago when I was a primary school head teacher. Well, I don't know how I ended up here, really. Just things happened. I mean, the first bizarre thing that happened was that I resigned in the spring of 2016, and 10 days after I resigned, I got this random email inviting me to train to be a hypnotherapist. Clearly, I'm not a hypnotherapist anymore, but that was my first step into self-employment. And goodness only knows, that email just came. It was fairly random. I'd done a little bit of training with the company who sent me it, but it was random, and I did it, and that was my first business. Again, accidentally. I didn't plan to start a business. And it's been, and then when I came across this 3 principles inside out understanding, that too was an accident, a chance look on Facebook, which I don't spend a lot of time on social media. Chance look on Facebook, a chance seeing of a post by a lovely friend of mine, Peter Slay, and a chance to have some coaching with him, and then step into this understanding which I hadn't seen before. And every step of my journey with this has just been another noticing, another chance, another opportunity, moment by moment. And my purpose keeps changing, because it's now. It's an unfolding, not a grabbing and a grasping, which is what it can often feel like. And the inner critic loves to get hold of this and say that we need to earn the right to live meaningfully. But what if we could just live meaningfully now? Now is meaningful. In fact, now is the only meaningful thing. Forget the rest of the other time zones, the past and the future. That the only place you can live meaningfully is now. So just take the next step, take the next action. Trust yourself that you know what that is. And watch out for your inner critic, because it's no doubt got some nonsense to say about you being lost and you're not ready and why are you doing that? How dare you? You don't need to listen to that. It's not true. And back to the feeling, just briefly before I finish, is you'll know because there's a felt sense to this. When it's the inner critic, it feels awful. When you are aligned, showing up in the present, living your purpose moment by moment, I tell you what, that feels good. You know when you're there. So I hope that's been a helpful little exploration. Take care, lots of love. I'll see you next time.